Hello everyone, with the Jamaica here. Welcome to this updated video on the weather across Jamaica and the rest of the Caribbean. It is Sunday evening, October 2023. Now before we jump into it, please ensure that you guys like the video, share it, subscribe and tap notification bell so that you'll be notified every time I post a brand new video. Feel free to leave a comment down in the comment section letting me know what the weather has been like in your area recently. Also feel free to ask any weather related question that you might have about the future of the weather in your specific area. I respond to all comments and I really live for this stuff. Alright, so let's just take a look at what the US National Hurricane Center is showing on their 7-day graphical tropical weather outlook. We can see that we still have Tropical Storm Philippe right to the east of the Leeward Islands, and to the north of Philippe we have Tropical Depression Rena. We can see that it has now downgraded. Taking a look at Philippe, we can see that there is now a tropical storm watch issued for parts of the Leeward Islands right there, maybe Anguilla, Antigua and Barbuda. And this system is moving right now towards the west-northwest at 5 miles per hour, so it's moving very slowly. It's still a tropical storm, packing maximum sustained wind of 50 miles per hour. So it's definitely going to be getting closer to the islands, and the main threat there is going to be the heavy rainfall that they are already experiencing at this time. As relates to Rena, as stated earlier, has downgraded back to a tropical depression and it's going to be moving towards the north. We'll wake up tomorrow morning with Rena out of the picture. Taking a look at the surface map of the Atlantic for this evening, we can see that we have that tropical wave to the east of Philippe. We still have the high pressure ridge to the north of the main development region, and that's responsible for all of these systems being sent towards the west and then towards the northwest. Taking a look at the visible satellite images of the Atlantic before the sun went down, we can see a cold front right here, the line of clouds associated with that cold front, reaching all the way from the east of Bermuda, all the way down into Florida, the Bahamas. We can see the cloud cover associated with Tropical Storm Philippe right there, spinning away and sucking lots of these clouds into its core, bringing more in the way of some overcast skies, showers and thunderstorms in sections of the Windward and Leeward Islands even today, and that's going to be continuing into tomorrow. We can also see the clouds associated with the tropical wave to the east of Philippe, as well as the spin associated with Tropical Depression Rena to the north of Philippe. We'll be talking more about the weather across the Caribbean later on. Let's focus our attention on the prediction that was made in the video that was posted this morning, highlighting the long range forecast as well. If you don't know that we posted a video today, yes, there was definitely a video posted this morning, and it highlighted what we're expecting during the month of October across Jamaica. So if you haven't checked that out as yet, ensure that you check it out before you go to bed. So in that video, we highlighted the fact that we would have received some amount of isolated rainfall across sections of mainly central and western parishes, and we know we can experience some amount of rainfall across sections of some eastern parishes, the usual Kingston and St. Andrew. And we know when we're talking about central and western parishes, we're talking about the parishes that are located in the counties of Middlesex and Cornwall. And then as usual, the eastern parish of Surrey. We know the usual outlier that usually receives these afternoon rainfall is about Kingston and St. Andrew. And what ended up happening? A post was made on our Twitter page, not only our Twitter page, but if you don't have a Twitter, you can follow us on our Facebook, on our Instagram, on our TikTok, if you have any of those social media platforms, keeping in mind that we also post many activities or events on those sites as opposed to YouTube. So we can see where we indeed had a post that was made at 3:35 p.m. highlighting the infrared satellite images showing clouds bringing overcast skies and some isolated thunder showers across sections of mainly central and western parishes in Jamaica. We even had some thunderstorm activity right there across sections of Portland, Western St. Thomas, Kingston and St. Andrew, definitely spread out today. And we even have confirmation from some of our followers, Jerome stating drizzling and well overcast Kingston 5, Reddy stating the amount of thunder you would have think of parade up there, Hale stating just thunder, no rain. And we even had Marlon sending in a video highlighting the rainfall in his section of Linstead right there. It definitely gotten on some amount of heavy rainfall, and we also had a race Racer Chick confirming the rainfall as well on her Instagram page. Raining very heavily, thunder and lightning. Windy this end between Linstead and Wharton. We even had Tricia and Barkley confirming the rainfall. Trust me, it was some weather to recon with lightning and thunder. For days it even took out the light. We just got it back. One gal is stating on and off light drizzling and lots of thunder for the past hour and a half in St. Andrew. And when we take a look at the visible satellite images for today, we saw that we mainly had more of an easterly kind of flow. As a matter of fact, it was more variable. We had a lack of winds today. Then we had that buildup of clouds. Then the usual low-level clouds becoming high-level clouds. They transform themselves into cumulonimbus clouds. And we can see it even better on the infrared satellite images. Definitely gotten some amount of thunderstorm activity for today, especially across sections of central Jamaica. And if we take a look at the accumulated precipitation for the past 24 hours by the Caribbean Institute for Meteorology and Hydrology website, we do see where we indeed had that rainfall for today. Even although this map is not 100% accurate, it does paint a picture that yes, we indeed had that rainfall across sections of some inland areas, especially of eastern, central and western parishes in Jamaica. Taking a look at the temperatures right now, we can say we have 28 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 29 degrees Celsius in Kingston, and as the night progresses, these temperatures should be getting lower. Let's check it out. About 3 a.m. tomorrow, temperature should be getting down to about 26 degrees Celsius in both Montego Bay and Kingston. As it relates to the temperature forecast for tomorrow, we do see those orange colors across Jamaica for 1 p.m. on Monday. 18Z when calculated is actually 1 p.m. on Monday, and we see that both the Euro and the GFS malls are showing something similar. The orange colors represent up to 3 degrees Celsius above normal temperatures, and we know that the average temperatures for the month of October is about 89 degrees Fahrenheit. And 89 degrees Fahrenheit is about the equivalent of 31 degrees Celsius. So if we should be receiving anywhere from 3 degrees Celsius above normal temperatures for tomorrow, it should be anywhere from 31 to 34 degrees Celsius at most. As it relates to the dry air map, we can see that we still have a lot of moist air across majority of the Caribbean region. The mere fact that we can see more blues as opposed to yellows, oranges and reds that represent the dry air, that's indicative of a lot of moist air. As it relates to the Saharan dust forecast for 2 p.m. on Monday, we do see where the Caribbean is in the clear, Jamaica definitely in the clear. It's majority of the main development region that has those light browns and darker brown shades that indicate Saharan dust. That's where all of the Saharan dust is located. As it relates to the wave forecast, we do see that we have 0 to 0.5 of a meter wave heights to be receiving all surrounding the island of Jamaica for tomorrow, and that's due to the fact that we're going to be having some very weak winds. Winds are actually going to be variable tomorrow. Look at the north coast having more of an east-northeasterly flow, the south coast having more of a, what does this look like on the Euro, kind of a southwesterly kind of flow, and coming in from the south on the GFS mall, northeast coming in from the northeast on the north coast on the GFS mall. Either way, there's definitely going to be some piling up of air across where we see those blue spots, maybe sections of eastern Jamaica, central and western Jamaica, inland areas. We're going to have those clouds piling up. Then we have something similar to what we had today, those cumulus clouds becoming cumulonimbus clouds. Definitely going to be having some amount of afternoon thunder showers for tomorrow, and with the upper level winds coming in more from the southwest for tomorrow, we're definitely going to be seeing some of those overcast sky showers and thunderstorms, especially across some northern parishes in Jamaica. So let us take a look at the rainfall forecast for tomorrow. Both maps from the Euro and the GFS are showing 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is actually 2 p.m. Jamaica time. And what's the consensus? What do we see on both maps? We do see the blues and even greens that represent rainfall for 2 p.m. across especially eastern and central parishes in Jamaica. Not so much western parishes, but maybe some western areas could get in on some amount of rainfall. But we do see the consensus, especially on the Euro. Euro is a bit more robust, showing a lot of greens across eastern Jamaica. GFS showing more of the blues, but it's definitely some amount of agreement so we're gonna be watching out for that. If you're going out tomorrow, ensure that you bring your umbrella if you reside in those or work in those areas. Taking a look at the rainfall totals from both the Euro and the GFS, keeping in mind that both of these maps from the Euro, this is the Euro, and the GFS, are showing all the rainfall that's expected across Jamaica from now up until 10 p.m. on Monday. And we do see that the Euro is a bit more robust to the amount of rainfall that it is predicting. We know these things are not set in stone, might not necessarily happen, but we do see the consensus in the location, definitely more confined to sections of central and eastern parishes in Jamaica, but the rainfall totals are drastically different. Euro showing up to 0.62 of an inch of rainfall, GFS showing only up to 0.3 of an inch of rainfall right there across central Jamaica. Either way, we're indeed grateful that we're going to be getting in on some amount of rainfall across the island for tomorrow. We are now in the month of October, and we can see that on both the you can see that on both the Kingston and the Montego Bay bar graphs, October is usually the month where we receive the most rainfall. So we'll take all the rainfall that we can get to put some kind of a dent in the hydrological drought that we're experiencing. We know hydrological drought has to do with how the waters at the main stations or the dams or the reservoirs are being affected, and we know the situation right now regarding those. So that's it for the forecast across Jamaica. Let's focus our attention on the rest of the Caribbean. So we can see lots of clouds bringing thunderstorms to sections of Cuba, sections of Haiti got in on some afternoon thunderstorms today. The usual Venezuela, Colombia, Panama, Costa Rica, Nicaragua, Honduras, El Salvador, Guatemala, and the Yucatan Peninsula of Mexico. Taking a look at the Doppler radar images for today across the northeastern Caribbean, definitely the weather is being influenced by Tropical Storm Philippe, especially across the Leeward Islands right here. Look at that flow. We have more of a northerly kind of flow coming around the circulation. We can see it coming in from the northeast over into St. John's, then from the north over Guadeloupe, then more of a northwesterly kind of turn into Dominica. There's definitely that kind of circulation kind of flow, just like what we saw in the visible satellite images, because Philippe is right there. The center of circulation is somewhere here, and we can also see where we have more of a northeasterly flow across sections of the US and British Virgin Islands, not to mention Puerto Rico, which explains the rainfall that especially the north coast of Puerto Rico has been receiving. San Juan, look at that, had a very deep convection burst across sections of southwestern Puerto Rico during the afternoon hours. And we can see that on the Barbados radar, they've been getting in on some rainfall from morning. Definitely see a lot of heavy rainfall right there, as indicated by the yellows, oranges, and reds to the north of Barbados, as all of these outer bands suck their way into Tropical Storm Philippe. Definitely some rainfall in store for sections of Martinique, St. Lucia, sections of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Even Tobago might have been getting in on some of that rainfall as well. We do see some rainfall right there to the west of Trinidad as well. Taking a look at the wider view of Doppler radar images, we can see the heavy rainfall right there up to the east of the Leeward and Windward Islands associated with Tropical Storm Philippe. And we can see some heavy rainfall as well across sections of Florida, the Bahamas, southern Cuba, and that rainfall that we mentioned on land across Central America. Taking a look at the temperature forecast by both the Euro and the GFS models, oranges, yellows that represent above normal temperatures all across the board from the eastern Caribbean to the Gulf of Mexico. We can see that the most above normal temperatures are right there across sections of South America, as indicated by those reds that even represent up to 7 or 8 degrees Celsius above normal temperatures. As it relates to the Saharan dust forecast, we do see that the only areas across the Caribbean that are going to be affected is sections of the Turks and Caicos and the southern Bahamas, maybe even sections of eastern Cuba and the Dominican Republic, only by some slight brown shades that represent some amount of Saharan dust. The heaviest amount of Saharan dust is right there across sections of the main development region, as indicated by those darker shades of browns. As relates to the wave forecast for tomorrow, we can see that majority of the Caribbean should be getting anywhere from 0.5 of a meter to at least 1 meter wave height, while it's the areas closest to where Tropical Storm Philippe will be passing, the northeastern Leeward Islands right there. definitely gonna be getting in on those purples and reds that represent 2 meter wave heights or more, and that's due to the fact that the seas are being churned up by Philippe. Look at those yellows and even oranges that represent 25 knot winds or more. It makes sense that wherever we have the strongest winds, that's where we're going to be having the highest wave height. While the areas in greens are going to be getting anywhere from 5 to 10 to even 15 knots, coming mainly in from the south or the southwest across the Windward and Leeward Islands, while the rest of the Caribbean should be getting in on more of a, let's say, easterly, kind of a northeasterly flow, averaging anywhere from 0 to 10 knots. Taking a look at the rainfall forecast, keeping in mind that both of these maps from the Euro and the GFS malls are showing all the rainfall that's expected from now up until 10 p.m. on a Monday, we do see that we're definitely in for some more heavy rainfall across sections of the Windward and Leeward Islands, Guadeloupe, Anguilla, Antigua and Barbuda, St. Bart, sections of Dominica, Martinique, St. Lucia, Barbados, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Grenada, Trinidad and Tobago, sections of Venezuela, sections of Colombia, Panama, Costa Rica, Nicaragua, El Salvador, Honduras, Guatemala, Belize, sections of the Yucatan Peninsula. But we do see that there's not much in the way of rainfall in store for Guyana, French Guyana or Suriname at this time, as well as the Cayman Islands. Maybe some isolated spots could get in on some rainfall. But we do see where we have the consensus across sections of Florida and Cuba, not to mention the northern Bahamas, for them to be getting in on some more rainfall. You can also see that rainfall being expected for sections of Hispaniola, Haiti, Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, as well as Jamaica. And we know that when both maps are showing something similar like this in terms of the rainfall totals as well as where the rainfall is located, the chance of it actually happening are much higher. Alright, so that's it for today. Thanks for